Okay, pen box alita. Pen box, pen. Naveen andre yaru? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾ ನೀನು ಹಾಲ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಪೆನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಪೆನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್
Good morning, everyone. INBCC inaugural event will start in 15 minutes. Requesting everyone to be seated in the auditorium.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಸಭಾಂಗಣದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ಸ್, participants, volunteers, may I request all of you to assemble inside the auditorium and take your seat.
ಅದೇ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆಡಿ
Hello, 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 check, hello, 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 on.
Mr. Manoj, a video play ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? An incredible India and an incredible Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inauguration function of INBCC. Requesting everyone to please come to the auditorium and be seated. We'll shortly begin the program. Minasan osuwari kudasai.
Please welcome all our guests of honor and chief guests for the function today with a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Please put your hands together to welcome all our guests on stage.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಸಭೆಗೆ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಶುಭೋದಯ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಕರುನಾಡು ಸಿರಿನಾಡು ಗಂಧದ ನಾಡು, ಈ ಚೆಂದದ ನಾಡು. ಇಂದು ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ INBCC ಇಂಡೋ ನಿಪ್ಪೋನ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಕೊಲಾಬರೇಷನ್ ಇದರ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನಾ ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿರುವಂಥ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶ್ಯಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್
ಹಾಗೂ ನಾನು ಮೇಘನಾ.
ಮತ್ತು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹೃದಯಿ ಪ್ರೇಕ್ಷಕರು ಮತ್ತು INBCCಯ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್. Welcome to all of you. Meghana, you know the history of India and Japan. It is just not the last 70 years or what we are finding. 1400 years back, this saga, this journey started. In the year 752 AD, the towering statue of Lord Buddha was performed. This particular performance was done by an Indian monk, Bodhisena, in 752 AD. So the cordial relationship between India and Japan dates back to 1400 years. And last few years back, we had really disappointing time, a challenging time. But once again you find that in the 21st century, a new hope has arrived in the form of INBCC. I believe that in the world, a private group of people, including all of you, the friends, members of INBCC, have joined together for a great purpose of mutually benefiting India and Japan in all the areas, and that is happening today. We are going to script this in golden letters. Please give a big round of applause for the inauguration function. And in the contemporary times, let's go through some of the personalities who have made this bonding between India and Japan very much alive, and still it remains in our golden memories. Who are they? Swami Vivekananda, our most ideal of the youth generation in India today and forever. Gurudeva Rabindranath Tagore, J.R.D. Tata, and give a big round of applause, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose also, and several judges and luminaries who have made this Indo-Japan ties very much alive, and that still it is continuing. Over to Megha.
Requesting everyone in the auditorium to stand up for the national anthem. We will be playing Indian national anthem followed by Japanese national anthem as well. So requesting everyone to be standing till the end of the Japanese national anthem. Thank you.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you.
Please be seated. Minasan o suwari kudasai.
The bonding between Indo and Japan is firmly based on shared values of belief in democracy, individual freedom, and rule of law. Over the years, the two countries have built upon these values and created a partnership based on both principle and pragmatism. So, what is today? Today, India is the largest upcoming democracy in the world, in Asia, and Japan the most prosperous. Give a big round of applause for the long-term friendship of Indo and Japan. And also, Megan, you will be surprised to know that in 1903, a friend association started between Indo and Japan, 1903. And it is said that in the international arena, one of the long-serving friendship clubs between two countries.
Can I request the audience in the back to please occupy the front seats? I now request Mr. Krishna Gowda, the founder director of INBCC, to come on the stage and provide a short introduction about the guests on the dais. Krishna-san, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu.
Namaskara. Welcome, very good morning. Yokoso. INBCCಯ ಈ ಒಂದು ದೂರದೃಷ್ಟಿಯ ಒಂದು ನಾನ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಡೋ ಜಪಾನ್ನ ವಿಶೇಷ ಯಾರು ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಈ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಕರೋನಾ ನಂತರ ಇಂಡೋ ಜಪಾನ್ನ ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಸಮಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರಂಥದ್ದು ಇದೇ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸರಿ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಡಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್ ಎ ಬಿಗ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಪ್ಲಾಸ್. ಇಂದಿನ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಪರಿಚಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ತೊಶಿಹಿರೋ ಮಿಜುತಾನಿ-ಸಾನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯೋಕೋಸು ಯೋರೋಶಿಕು ಒನೆಗೈ ಇತಾಶಿಮಾಸು. ಸೊ ಅವರು ಓವರಾಲ್ ಜೆಟ್ರೋದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಬೋಪಣ್ಣಜಿಯವರು ಬಂದು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಬೋಪಣ್ಣಜಿಯವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಡ್ವೈಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೀಪ. ಸೊ ಮೊದಲು ನಾವು ದೀಪ ಬೆಳಗಿಸಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಅತಿಥಿಗಳನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ಟು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಲೈಟ್ನಿಂಗ್ ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್. All the founding directors are requested to come on the dais.
I call upon Ms. Sharanya Sridhar, Entrepreneur Seva Karta, to invoke the blessings of the God by prayer.
प्रणमामि गणेश्वरम् प्रणमामि गणेश्वरं विघ्नध्वान्तदिनेश्वरं प्रणमामि गणेश्वरम् गणेश्वरं प्रणमामि गणेश्वरम् आ
Thank you, Sharanya. In the recently held Unearthing Shared Identities and Cultural Similarities of India and Japan, Sharad Joshi-san, he made one remark. He said that Kabuki and Kathakali are similar in stylized gestures, symbolic yet minimal dance moves, plenty of eye and facial expressions, dazzling costumes, elegantly designed wigs and elaborate makeup for male artists. I am saying this because the prayers what we are rendering about Lord Ganapati, the same Lord Ganapati is also still one of the main deity, including Sharda, that is still a deity in Japan. So for invoking the blessings of Lord, I extend my sincere thanks to Miss Sharanya and Sridhar. Now stage once again over to Krishna Gowda sir.
ದೀಪ ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲಿಸಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ವಂದನೆಗಳು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ಆಲ್ ದ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅವರ್ ಫೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಡಯಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಐ ವುಡ್ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ದ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ to start with Mr. Toshihiro Mizutani-san. He is a Director General of JETRO. So as we know, JETRO is working for a very long time to improve the Japan and the global business across the world. So we are honored to have Toshihiro-san, Mizutani-san available with us. Welcome, sir. I would request Mr. Bopanaji, our advisory member, to welcome Mizutani-san. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Tejaswini Anand Kumar, it's a very well-known name in the service, humanity service, and she, for a very long time, I may be watching her for maybe for 30 plus years, continuously doing various service activities. She is the chairperson of Adamya Chetana. It provides the midday meals to many students in the government schools and underprivileged sector. And also they do the Green Sunday program across Bangalore, trying to increase the green patch. And many zero garbage, zero wastage, many such activities are taken by Dr. Tejaswini Madam. So it's honor to have Tejaswini Madam with us. And I request BG Sridhara, Bangalore Sridhara, to come and welcome Tejaswini Madam. So I remember when Tejaswini Madam came to our one of the event, she refused to put the plastic sheet on the dining table, So she is very particular about, so many aspects. Very inspiring character. Mr. Ajay Chedda, DTS Corporation associate with Japan Geography for almost 40 plus years, and looking forward for various investment opportunity. And when we started INBCC, he is one of the pioneer to come forward and encouraging, we should have this platform, let's do it, Japanese Prime Minister and our Narendra Modi ji, our Indian Prime Minister, have come forward together and promised, so much of investment coming to India. And Mr. Ajay Chedda is one good example, in front of us. Thank you, Ajay ji, all the way traveling from Mumbai and being with us. So I would request Deepak Anand to welcome Mr. Ajay Chedda.
Sorry, just one correction. I'm not that old. It's 30 years only.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Shrikant Datta, the National Vice President of Lagudyog Bharati. LUB is very well known for Indian manufacturing show and working in MSME sector reluctantly for many, many years across India, and especially policy making, helping, to our MSME industry very closely working. He himself is an industrialist, runs a big industry in Pinya area. So we are honored to have Mr. Shrikant Datta. I would request Shaman San to come forward and welcome Mr. Shrikant Datta. And Jetro Bangalore, we have a special guest coming from Jetro Bangalore, Miss Kanae Matsuda-san. She is with us in the front row. Yoroshiku onegai tashimasu, yokoso. So please welcome. I would request our founding director Nishaji to welcome Kanae Matsuda-san. Thank you. So when we planned such a important event, and many high-profile people are coming and doing this network opportunity, make use of the best of the platform. There are, people said, we will come forward and support. So one of the biggest support has come from Rakuten Symphony. So they are our platinum sponsor, and also so Rakuten, he himself is a very well-known Japanese company. So they said, we are there not only for the event, we travel, a very long journey with INBCC. So we have two special guests today. One, Mr. Sandeep Karkala, he's a Vice President, Rakuten Symphony, and he's a technology head for Rakuten Symphony. We are honored to have Sandeep. So Naren, sent a message, later we'll play. So Sandeep we have on the dais. So I would request Vijendra Nayak, our founding director, to come forward and welcome Mr. Sandeep. And thank you. And we have one more guest from Rakuten Symphony. She is the person who come forward and said, this is a wonderful platform, building this community end to end, because she was very keen to know, it is just one more platform, or what we are trying to do. So starting from academia, colleges, then building the network technology, incubation, and making sure the employment generation, and till the entrepreneurship starting startups. So Divya Kiran, she encouraged us. So she is with us. She is the HR head, Rakuten Symphony. Welcome, madam. So I would request Neeraj, our advisory member, to welcome Divya ma'am. So Neeraj is a very seasoned Japanese professional. He looks Japanese, but he is from India, but he speaks very good Japanese, both he and wife. Yeah. Thank you, Neeraj. We have a couple of special guests with us. One is they are a kind of an example for this entire thing. What is we are seeing already, they done it on the ground, especially in Bangalore. One, Mr. Jun Ito. So Jun Ito-san, please come forward. Ito-san, Yukri. Hi. So Jun Ito-san is a Japanese social entrepreneur and a startup founder, VC fund manager, and he already working in Bangalore for a very long time. He's very excited, the kind of weather conditions and the kind of encouraging environment. So I would request our Ramani-san, very senior advisory member, to honor and welcome Jun Ito-san. Thank you. Yoroshi Konegateshimasu. One more very young entrepreneur, Mr. Kataro Fukuoka-san. Fukuoka-san? Kataro Fukuoka-san? Okay. So very interesting person, and he's a managing director for Amegumi India Private Limited, and he's going to talk to us very soon. He's also social entrepreneur, and he train a lot of Indian high-tech resources. So we welcome Mr. Katora Fukuoka. I would request Surendra, our advisory member, to come forward and welcome. So the family also, please join. Yeah. Sumimasen, onegai. Please. Indo-Japan family together. Yeah. We have one more very interesting company co-founder with us. Anvikshiki is our diamond partner, and also they're doing a lot of research activities. The CEO founder, he couldn't travel. He's in Andhra Telangana, a very remote village. He's doing some rural development work. So we have Raju Gauri Shetty. He has come all the way to participate with us. Raju Gauri Shetty ji, yeah. So he's going to talk to us on his initiative. So I would request our Anand Kannanji, the advisory member. We have Anand Kannanji. Hello. Okay. Ayin Murthy ji, our one of the Anand. Okay. Anand Kannanji. So please welcome Raju ji. Please come forward. Yeah. You can sit in the front seat. It will be very easy. Yeah. Please come. Thank you so much. So thank you for providing an opportunity to be part of INBCC. Thank you so much.
ಇಂದು ಭಾರತೀಯ ಮತ್ತು ಜಪಾನ್ ಎರಡು ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗಳ ಒಂದು ಒಕ್ಕೂಟ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣವಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಈ ಶುಭ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ INBCCಯ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
Here comes the moment we all have been waiting for. It's time for the inauguration of inbcc.org website and also the logo of INBCC. Requesting our guests on the dais to do the honors. Please put your hands together when inauguration happens.
All the bigger dreams have been achieved by, bigger tasks have been achieved by people who have dreamt big. Today, one such big dream is actually getting empowered in front of you. And you are the main reason for it. The people who are dreaming big for the country, the people who are dreaming for the next future generation. That's exactly what you find in our logo as well as. INBCC is inspired by for the future and dreaming big for the success of both countries.
Thank you for inauguration of the website and the logo. Now I request Mr. Shamant Nagaraj, the director of Rakuten India and one of the core founder members of INBCC, along with Mr. Deepak Anand, the Japanese business advisor with JCSSI and founder of INBCC, to please come on the stage and give a brief introduction about INBCC. Thank you.
Namaste everyone. Minasan konnichiwa. Respected Director General Jetro Bangalore Mizutani-san, Dr. Tejaswini Anand Kumar Madam, and Mr. Ajay Chadda, Executive Director Nelito India, Srikant Dattaji, Laghu Udyog Bharti, and Sri Sandeep Karagala ji from Senior Executive Rakuten Symphony. Once again, on behalf of INBCC, I welcome all the distinguished guests, all the friends from industries. So as we know that Indo-Japan relationship is deeply rooted spiritually, as well as we are very close politically and economically. But with the strong initiatives taken by our Prime Minister Modi and late Prime Minister, Japanese Prime Minister Sri Abe, probably we are witnessing the most close relationship, or probably it is the golden era of Indo-Japan relationship. Many initiatives by both the government at G2G level and many associations, they have been working tirelessly to materialize the dream and different initiatives which has been taken under different programs. But at the same time, we realized, we all like-minded founders of INBCC realized that there is a huge gap still exists at the micro level or maybe grassroots level. And with that intention, we decided that why don't we set up one single window platform or kind of integrated support platform where we can provide end-to-end solution or support to all the Japanese and Indian companies. And this is how just exactly 1.5 months before the concept of INBCC was materialized. And I, being one of the founding members, I couldn't contribute much, but I am personally, I am surprised that how much our volunteers have put together a lot of effort to materialize just within 1.5 months. We have launched our website. We are inaugurating our foundation, and with this, so this is still personally for me, it is a little surprising as well. But having said that, we as an association, again, I want to emphasize that we are not here to compete with any associations or government bodies, but rather we would like to complement and support their activities at ground level, at micro level. So we are here to contribute wherever such voluntary support is needed by any associations. And with that objective, we thought that we will try to connect all the dots which is needed at the grassroots level, at the micro level, to facilitate the Indo-Japan relationship. If you could just go to, yeah. So our association is not only we are here to facilitate the business or end-to-end solutions, but we are also having vision to contribute towards the collective social development of both the countries. So we are also trying to touch all the aspects of both the associations, all the aspects of both the countries, and we will try to again see how we can work at the very ground level, at the very initial level, from where, say for example, where information is needed, correct information is needed. From that ground level, we want to facilitate very deep-rooted connections between both the countries. If we just talk about, probably all this data is known by most of the people, Japan is one of the probably top 5 contributors of FDI towards India. They are one of the largest investor in manufacturing sector. We are also already announced by Japanese government that by 2025, almost $42 billion of investment will be coming from Japanese government in different infrastructure projects. Also, we are witnessing that a lot of startup investments happening to Indian companies by Japanese investors. Parallelly, we have seen the trend by Japanese SMEs that they want to have a parallel supply chain ecosystem other than China in countries like Indonesia, India, and India will be definitely the biggest beneficiary. So with a lot of business queries, in last 3 months only, I probably have met almost 100 new Japanese companies, and every company was mentioning that they want to look for India both as a direct or indirect opportunity. Indirect opportunity is directly related to merger and acquisition or investment through equity route. And with this enormous number of queries what we are receiving, we thought it will be also one of the key focus area of our association to provide support to these business queries, these business requirements. And also we have to see how we can connect to these facilitation throughout the entire project life cycle. So that is the main focus area. So with that objective, when we drill down the basic challenges at business level, then we found that 2 or 3 basic challenges what any Japanese or Indian investors they are having when they try to do business with each other. One was the unavailability of the adequate information. So you go connect with multiple people, multiple advisors, multiple institutions, but unfortunately we do not have an integrated platform where all the correct information or relevant information is available. So this is one challenge probably any businessman. It can be applicable to both the countries. If Indian investors, they want to know about Japan, they do not have any single point agency through which they can get all business related information. So this is one challenge we observed. The second challenge came in terms of communication. Indians, Japanese will communicate only in Japanese, and Indians have to communicate in English. But there is always some gap exist when it comes to communication. The third one, that there is no end-to-end solution available or support ecosystem available. So this is also one of the areas. So addressing these 3 challenges. So focus of INBCC in terms of business activities, we want to create a very robust information support desk system where all our experts from the industries will be available for giving the industry related information to the Japanese companies, or Japanese advisors are also there who will provide the adequate business information required by the Indian investors. So information which should be very robust ecosystem to provide. This is what one of the areas we want to focus. The second thing is one of the B2B centric platform, which will be again, we want to create a digital platform which will be auto supported, and any investors can place a query and relevant Indian companies can reach out to connect to them. So this is one very ambitious thing which we are trying to focus on. Then also a platform for end-to-end support system, because most of the time I have personally witnessed that the query or support ecosystem ends with advising something on macroeconomic level, but beyond that investors still face a lot of challenge. They need somebody who can be standing with them all the time and help them in getting all the things done in respective countries. So our focus is again end-to-end solution throughout the project life cycle. We want to provide the support to the respective investors. And obviously our platform should be very inclusive. It will be open for everybody. It will be reachable by everyone. And whether they are our members or non-members doesn't matter. We would like to reach out to any business query which requires attention. And our focus will obviously Indo-Japan specific forum we are trying to establish, but we will also assist another countries who would like to collaborate with Indian and Japanese companies. So we will gradually try to increase our reach in those areas. But again, having said these many things at business level, it cannot happen when you do not have a robust human exchange program. And this is where my colleague Shamanji will explain that what we are trying to achieve at the human exchange level.
Thanks Deepak ji for setting up the context. In fact, Deepak san covered up on primarily on the business aspects of it. Now, when we are getting into as Deepak san did talk about, one is on the business front. The other one is primarily when it comes to the academic area or the academic collaborations. That's also one of the major areas where we have been seeing gaps do exist when it comes to the collaboration between India and Japan, especially on the academic front. And primarily when we are looking at the academic front, I would just like to talk about three areas. One is, what is it there as a part of an opportunity when it comes to the academic aspects between India and Japan as a collaboration. Then to touch upon what are the kind of challenges especially that are existing from an academia, and then what INBCC as a platform would be able to enable this particular ecosystem, especially in the academia perspective. So I think what come on to the opportunity per se. In fact, when you look at the demand for the skilled especially for the skilled manpower, in fact, we have been talking about more than 3 lakh IT trained youths needed for Japan. This is something very, very significant. This has been a conservative figure, but practically, if you look at it, in fact, couple of statistics do say that there's a need for more than 6 million foreigners in order to run the Japanese economy in the next probably in about 5 years or so. So 3 lakh is definitely a conservative figure, but this actually calls for a huge academic opportunity and a collaboration between India and Japan. Now, when it comes to the upskilling, one of the major things what we have been seeing also is 80% of the engineers who do graduate, they also need to be upskilled and guided so that they actually fit into this particular ecosystem of the academia requirement what has been there as a part of India and Japan. Now what comes as a part of this is we do see a lot of language and the cultural barriers do come in. So this actually calls for an opportunity space where one could actually go about creating a training ecosystem which could not just focus on the language aspects of it, but also dwell on the cultural aspects in addition to the language, apart from the IT skill sets or the other skill sets that could be required. And when you look at from a university perspective, there's majority of the people do travel across either to US or to the Europe or to the Australia. If you look at it has been just around 0.3% of the graduates who actually choose to travel to Japan. So what's the reason for that? Even if we were able to make an incremental improvement of say even by probably 0.1% or 0.2%, that is very, very significant. These are the kind of opportunity areas. Now when it comes on to the fundamentally with regard to the challenges what we have been seeing in especially on the academic front, massive requirement for foreign language experts, translators and trainers in the IT profession. So this has been one of the major gap areas or one of the challenging areas where there's a lot of demand per se, but at the same time there's a lot of supply gap as well, and this is one of the major challenges for especially when we are looking at from an academia. And then language has been definitely been I would say that probably it has rather eased over a period of time, but language still exists as one of our barriers in terms of a communication between the two academic communities. So this is an area where there is where there can be an intervention that can be happening. And then the collaboration when we talk about India and the Japanese universities, especially one of the key things that we'd also like to bring about is, especially how the pandemic did come in, and which primarily with Japanese economy, it has been more of the face-to-face kind of interactions. But now with pandemic having hit and that has gone into a virtual mode, there has been challenges in terms of attracting R&D investment from the Japanese universities, and the collaborations per se have actually got impacted. And then curriculum around research competency for students and teachers. So this has been another major area where because of the pandemic and naturally the distance that has been there between the two countries. In fact, this has been one of the another major challenging areas that has come up. And then need for sharing information about resources for students who wish to acquire higher education in Japan. This is one area where even when we talk about 0.3%, many of the student community and research community do not know as to how I could probably go and probably get an academic acquaintance with Japan, and this has been another major challenging area. Now, the way we would like to address this through the INBCC as a platform is through a couple of initiatives like the global investment programs and global internship programs that we are actually looking at as one of the enablers through this particular community. And then we are looking at the Japanese language skill development programs that we are actually planning as a part of this particular platform. Then the cross-cultural exchange that could happen in the form of industry visits between both the countries. And then when it comes to fundamentally, when it comes to the language, it's not just the language, it also has to be part of the cultural immersion, which could happen through getting that particular cultural exposure in the form of ikebana, origami or kirigami, and a lot of these particular doll festivals, which could give a cultural immersion for the academia and the research community as well. So this is something which we want to enable through the INBCC platform, especially to cater to the challenging needs of the academia. With this, I would like to pass it on to Deepak sir.
So now, as a future activity, what we are planning as our next step, that we are going to have MOUs with all significant and relevant associations. We'll be developing a B2B digital platform, and we will also set up academic center of excellences in different colleges and universities to promote a lot of cultural exchange and educational exchange programs. So we are a little bit based upon the support and encouragement we have received from the well-wishers. We have set up a very optimistic challenge. In next, by 2024, we want to have at least 1,000 beneficiary memberships. We are targeting at least 75 Indo-Japanese university and educational institutions collaborations. And we want to conduct at least 50 B2B meets up and seminars and startup sessions. And we want to create at least 10,000 job opportunities for Indian youth in Japan, considering their requirement of human resources there. And we also want to train at least 2,000 engineers in advanced Japanese communication skills and 20,000 students in cross-learning programs. So it is quite ambitious, but we can assure that with our hard work, dedication and service and with all your wishes, we will be try to achieve that, and we need your support, and we assure our best services in that case. So thank you very much for all your support, and once again I welcome you all for this session.
Thank you both gentlemen. Please give a big round of applause for this wonderful introduction of INBCC. Another jewel in the crown of INBCC. Now we have Professor Anjana Reddy from RV Institute of Legal Studies. Please give a big round of applause. May I request Sridhar San to hand over a flower as a token of respect from INBCC. In fact, RVLS is one of the institute which is going to have MOU and training from INBCC. Thank you, sir. ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರನ್ನು ಹಸಿರುಮಯವಾಗಿ ಪರಿಸರದಲ್ಲಿ ಶುಚಿಯನ್ನು ತಂದಿರುವಂಥ ಅಮ್ಮ ಯಾರಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವರೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಜನನಾಯಕಿ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶಿ ಕೂಡ ಹೌದು. ಅವರೇ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಿ ಅನಂತ್ ಕುಮಾರ್. ಅವರನ್ನು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಭಾಷಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಆಹ್ವಾನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
May I request the technical team to please play the video of Adamya Chetana?
India, one of the fastest growing countries in the world, abounds rich culture, heritage, and innovation. But it is not without a fair share of problems. One of the biggest is the struggle to eradicate illiteracy and malnourishment in children. In a population of 1.3 billion people, 30% of them are children under 15 years. Out of that, a staggering 44% of them are either malnourished, stunted, or wasted. One of the fastest growing countries in the world abounds rich culture, heritage, and innovation. But it is not without a fair share of problems. One of the biggest is the struggle to eradicate illiteracy and malnourishment in children. In a population of 1.3 billion people, 30% of them are children under 15 years. Out of that, a staggering 44% of them are either malnourished, stunted, or wasted. Let us take a peek into the non-profitable charity organization Adamya Chetana, with headquarters in Bengaluru, hoping to bridge this large gap between hunger, health, and education in poor children with their unique threefold program called Anna, Akshara, Arogya. All of this is led at the forefront by Dr. Tejaswini Anantkumar, wife of late Sri Anantkumar, Union Minister, who was himself the chief patron of this whole organization.
Roti, kapda, makan, that's what we say. Now we should start looking at all these aspects. The food we eat, how it is made, what are the ingredients, how are they generated. So all these small things, and trying to bring in a change, especially from the kitchen. No garbage should go out. So today we have briquettes for steam generation. We use pellets for making tarka or other things where direct fire is required. We use our coconut shell for frying masala. The food waste or the vegetable peels become compost, or we use it for the biogas. So the entire fuel system today comes from the waste material. And this showcases that it is possible to use alternative energy.
Also, the starch-rich water in boiling rice is reused in the sambar again. The water used for cleaning rice is reused for watering the plants at various gardens in the city, which amounts to 10,000 liters per day. Furthermore, they also have an extensive plate and tumbler bank of around 10,000 sets, which are free for general public use. This is just to mitigate the rampant use of disposable plastics, thereby reducing pollution. Out of large quantities of healthy and hygienic food cooked, the entire kitchen produces zero waste.
Short introduction about Adamya Chetana. Now may I call upon Madam Tejaswini Anantkumar to deliberate the audience.
Chief guest of today, Toshihiro Mizutani. I'm sorry, I don't know whether I am pronouncing it right. And also we have on the stage Shri Ajay Chaddaji, Shri Shrikant Dattji, Mr. Sandeep Karkala, Shri Deepak Anand, all the guests in the audience, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಮುಂಜಾನೆಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. I'm really happy to be here with you. Especially I should be thankful to Shri Krishna Gowda for bringing me from my kitchen, from the noise of the vessels to the daily routine. You know, it's become since last 20 years, it's more of, it's not more, it has always been the cooking, the rice, the dal and the other things. And of course, nowadays since last 10 years, we have been talking about the wastage part, how we can, how every kitchen can slowly move towards renewable energy sources, how do we reduce the petroleum usage for cooking. These have been the activities which I am involved, and also Today even they told me that I should speak about the same, but I really don't know. I want to talk about something else because you have called me to a foreign. I can call it as a foreign event. Normally we in a routine conversation we say foreign is something which I don't know, and that's what we use that word as. But after coming here, especially being part of this INBCC inauguration event, and I always feel many a times that okay, for us foreign countries are especially two countries. One is small in size but more association with India. The other one is a big country, and for us it is always India was always for various reasons we are looking at West. Especially when I completed my engineering, it was many of my, even today my almost 90% of my classmates who after their engineering they were all trying for GRE and other programs, wanted to fly to Western countries, and we know this one big country we has been always thought that everybody should go there and settle and be there, earn and big dollars, and that has been the dream of many of our youngsters. And the other country we all know, which has been, we were ruled by them for 400 years, and our culturally, if we get to the language, very much influenced by that country, and now it is in big news. So these are the two countries all along, like even in the earlier speakers were talking, majority of our students and once they pass out want to go to either USA or to Europe, and that has been the trend. But at the same time, we back in India will be always talking about this Western influence should reduce. You know, it is influencing and it's harming our culture in a very big way. And there are so many ways, including the topic about which was asked to speak is the concept of zero garbage, which we introduced in our kitchen. That cooking is not just preparing food and sending it to children. There are so many aspects. The fuel what we use, why should so much of the wastage getting generated? How do we look at the cutlery? Why should we use the disposable cutlery and make so much of wastage, so much of pressure on the natural resources? All these things have come in last our maybe 100 years or more in last 20 years because of this big influence of Western countries, because it was never there in our culture. So we had, if you just look at some 150 years back, there was no concept of dustbin in our houses. In our great-grandmother's house, in our rural places, there's no concept of dustbin. So everything which I never wanted was getting utilized somewhere else. But eventually when the money became the focus, when dollars became to the center stage, everything else has become everything is valued with regard to money. That was not the Indian culture, but we were influenced by these two countries. But at the same time, when I was like when the founders, when they met me, the founders of INBCC, when we were discussing with them, I was just thinking, yes, there is a country, of course, you all know about it. There is a country which is culturally very close to India, and for India it is always mornings, or the east is always the best time, and the sun rises from the east, and there is a country wherein culturally many things are common, and especially when at the introduction time they were saying that in 752 AD itself our ties have started, and so many gods are, we have Ganesha, or we have the same Ganesha is there in Japan. Saraswati, I had read in various articles. One of my good friend, Dr. Jayanti Manohar, she has written about the various gods in Japan. She has done a intensive travel. I can request her, Dr. Jayanti Manohar, maybe. Krishna Gowdaji, you know about her?
Yes.
Jayanti Manohar. She has done a lot of study about how many things we have in common, especially the goddess Saraswati, Ganesha, and of course Buddha. Even today, we also we pray the same God. You also do it, and that is one. Respecting the elders. There are so many things, and there are so many things which are common. Of course, there are barriers of language. There are cultural barriers in the present today. But I'm sure these two things we can overcome these two things, because when I have a 3-year-old grandson, he speaks Marathi, he is just 3-year-old, he speaks Marathi, he speaks Hindi, he speaks Kannada, and of course because he started going to school, he speaks English. A 3-year-old boy can learn 4 languages. I'm sure there are lakhs of youngsters in India, at younger age they can pick up the languages very well, and I'm sure language on one side, because of our quick grasping of our youngsters, language I don't think is a barrier, and also today with the so many new technologies coming up, I don't think language should become a barrier. Then we may get so many communication apps as soon as while I am talking, getting translated, and we know what's happening. So that is on the one side. Culturally, we only say there are some visible outside barriers, but I don't think it is much. Not many things are common. And culturally, spiritually, when we have similar thoughts, I think from where do we start is, although I represent a not-for-profit organization, because last 25 years I've been running a not-for-profit organization, as you saw in the film. We run 4 kitchens in India, all put together. We cook every day for 1,75,000 children on a daily basis. But in the whole process of cooking, one thing I realized is cooking food is not just an art. It should become engineering, not just engineering. It should connect culturally, and also it should connect all of us spiritually. With regard to that, we tried the concept of zero garbage. Again, it is not something which is an high technology aspect. It is more to look at how do we. It is more related to our lifestyle. Small changes, like the small things, which otherwise used to go to the dustbin. Just make sure that it reaches the right person. These are the small things which we changed in the kitchen, and since last 12 years, we have just removed our dustbin. Not only in my big kitchen, even back in my house, there is no dustbin in my house, and it is possible to do our routine. There is more satisfaction than that you realize once we start getting into this particular thing. And again, not using petroleum fuel, then tree planting. These are the various aspects of Adamya Chetana. I request even the delegates from Japan, I request you to visit our kitchen. It's right in Bangalore, and definitely we'll be happy to associate with regard to all these concepts of Green Sunday and green lifestyle and zero garbage and all those things. Of course, I am not a person who have done lot many things in business, but what I think is, although in India culturally for us center stage was never a money, but it can be a starting point. Always the collaborations start with business. It is business, education, then culture, and then spiritual. I think with these 4 steps, definitely India will elaborate with Japan and start with the business collaboration. Then, of course, start with business collaboration, start with the education part, involve more and more youngsters, bring more and more youngsters into the make them understand it is no longer foreign of our colloquial foreign, but it is a country where India, our youngsters can look at the future, because that will take them to the next level of cultural and spiritual collaboration. Together we will reach higher and higher heights. So I think that, yeah. So Krishna Gowda is saying we'll request for the visit. Yes, I request the Japanese team, please visit our. I'm happy to show the kitchen, take a tour of our kitchen, where in Bangalore we cook for 75,000 children on a daily basis. And it's right just 2 kilometers from this place. And also I request all the members assembled here, you please make a visit. Together, try to bring a change. All of us are doing our bit for the society, and especially this team. Sri Krishna Gowda and his whole team is really doing a wonderful service for the youngsters, and also for bringing this wonderful relation between a great Eastern developed country, wherein we are aspiring to be one of the leading countries of the world. And I think this is one best opportunity where the entire ecosystem is quite conducive, and I congratulate all the founding members, all the team who are associated with INBCC, and thank you very much for inviting me here.
Business, education, culture and spirituality, the 4 pillars of Indo-Japan, furthering our cordial relationships and how to establish it a global scenario. Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful encouraging words, and definitely your words were very heartening. And Japan also has been partnering India. Particular one example, if I can quote that, so the Namma Metro or any such kind of high technology speed transportations are there, we will find Japan as a wonderful partner with India. Please give a big round of applause for encouraging words from Tejaswini.
May I call upon Nisha, our founder member of INBCC, who is also a chartered accountant by profession, to please come on the stage and hand over the INBCC memento and also the gift from Mr. Gopal Keshri, the founder of Countrycraft. Please put your hands together.
Thank you, Gopal Keshri sir. Thank you. Thank you, Nisha sir, ma'am. ನಮ್ಮೊಡನೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಅಪ್ಯಾಯಮಾನತೆಯಿಂದ ಸಮಯ ಕಳೆದು ತಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯುಸಿ ಸ್ಕೆಡ್ಯೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ INBCCಯ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ಸ್, ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ಕಾಣಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕನಸಿನ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಅದಮ್ಯ ಚೇತನದ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಅಚ್ಚುಮೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶಕಿಯಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಿ ಆನಂದ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ಜಿಯವರು ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಡನೆ ಇದ್ದರು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ಯುಸಿ ಸ್ಕೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್, she will not be able to continue her stay with us, but definitely INBCC owes her a big debt because of her encouragement, and continuously she is supporting INBCC and all its activities. Please give a big round of applause to Tejaswini. over to Bangalore Sridhar.
Thank you. Once again, welcome everyone for the great event of INBC's inauguration. As the academia part, we have our first partner who accepted, to start the COE, Center of Excellence. Basically the idea is, to connect Japanese companies for our IT engineers from Nama Bengaluru, and not only engineers from degree, BA, BCom, BSc. These are students who get an opportunity to work with a Japanese company with a high CTC, and not only in India, go to Japan also. So with this, the exchange program, what we had last, just very quickly 2 weeks ago, and the first company accepted. My request, Fujitsu Consulting India, Vishalji and Sarin sir, please come to dais. Krishna Goda is there. What is the COE? COE is a center of excellence where Fujitsu already have 2,000 people, Japanese speaking engineers, consultant in India, and out of 9,000 workflow, and they want to hire another 500 more. Then we got an opportunity to meet them. We said, Nama Bengaluru can give, all the 500 people from academia, from various institutions from Bangalore. So they accepted, let's start a pilot project. So that's why, we welcoming Fujitsu, and Krishna, please facilitate them, sir. Thank you. Please. Please, round of applause to them. Ajay ji. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, one photo. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. So we are shortly going to start in Bangalore, one degree college, one engineering colleges, a batch of 50 to 100 students, where 2 years course, a 300 man-hours training program, JLPT N5, N4 and culture conversation. Then offer letter will come to campus, and they'll go to directly work with Fujitsu Consulting. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. A big round of applause to each of you. We look forward many more Japanese companies to come forward to help INBCC. We are there to to support for all your resource needed, not only in India, in Japan also. Thank you. Thank you very much.
A small announcement. We must have seen the registration desk outside. So today is the start of the journey, and we have to travel very long distance together. And I am strongly believer of the power of one is many coming together for a cause. So we will have a association of membership for the organizations, the colleges, or the startups, any MSME industries we are running. The organization, we can register with INBCC. It's an annual membership, about 10,000 rupees. It's a nominal fees we have kept. And as an individual and professionals, we also can register with INBCC, and you can add value. So that's a very small, nominal 5,000 rupees have been kept. And definitely the benefits have been emphasized over the registration desk, and it will be shared. So I would request, maximum membership taken by everyone, and please encourage your friends, your fraternity. Of course, it's a Deepavali holidays, many wanted to come, but out of the town. Kindly encourage, be part of INBCC. Thank you.
who have assembled here. It gives me immense pleasure to participate here on this happy occasion of the inauguration of INBCC. It's really a very good venture that some of the people here have thought of and conceived and then brought it to the inaugural stage. Looking at the people behind it, I see a lot of them having lots of experience, exposure, and illustrious careers who have joined together to form this organization. And I'm sure with such good people at the helm of affairs, INBCC will achieve its objectives and will prove to be a sort of a one-stop platform for all the business and cultural related activities between the two countries. And standing here as All India Vice President of Laghu Udyog Bharati, I would like to take a few minutes and tell about what we are doing at Laghu Udyog Bharati, because many of them are new to Laghu Udyog Bharati. Laghu Udyog Bharati is a pan-India organization which was established in the year 1994 with a handful of entrepreneurs, and today over the last 28 years it has grown into a formidable organization, one of the most respected, credible organization which is serving the MSMEs. We have over 45,000 members, entrepreneurs as members of Laghu Udyog Bharati across the country, and we have our operating units in about 505 districts. Practically every state we are active actually. We are headquartered in Delhi, and in the state of Karnataka we have more than about 1,600 members and have active working units supporting the MSMEs in about 12 districts of the state. And our activities are recognized by both the central and the state governments, and we are accorded representations in various committees, boards coming under the various ministries of the central and state governments. We are a part of the Honorable Prime Minister's SME Council. We are also on the GST Council, and apart from being on the board of ESI, EPF and Repatriate Labour Committee of ILO, in the state we have representations at KADB, KSSRDC, and I am representing Laghu Udyog Bharati as a board member at Karnataka State Pollution Control Board, KSPCB. So what we do, we utilize all these opportunities and engage with the government in evolving policies that are beneficial to MSMEs. We also have a lot of programs to create awareness about the new rules, about the new policies that is being brought out by the government at various times. Then we also help the entrepreneurs in capacity building, in bringing out the best of manufacturing practices. This is one of our major programs. We conduct a lot of workshops, events, trade fairs, and facilitate industry and trade visits. I would just very briefly tell about 4 of the main important verticals where we are working. One is the Kusurumane Foundation, which is working in the area of women entrepreneurs. We have a live marketing platform. We encourage women entrepreneurs from all parts of the state to come to Kusurumane and to market their product and develop the networking. We have a live platform, a B2B Connect also. And my colleague here, Srimati Chaya Prabhuji, is here in the audience, and she is the brain and pillar behind Kusurumane actually. And another activity is about the Gram Shilpi, wherein we are working with the rural artisans. Karnataka and India is home to the age-old tradition of toy making and doll manufacturing actually. So we are going to the remote villages in Karnataka, in places like Koppal, in Kinnal and Channapatna and all. And we are working with the rural artisans, helping them to improve their technologies. Like we are associated with Indian Institute of Science and trying to bring them on the IoT platform also, IoT enabled toys and other things like that. And another platform is the academic collaborations which we are having with various engineering institutions in the state as well as in the city. We have tied up with many of the engineering colleges here. We conduct a lot of EDP programs and help young engineering graduates to take up self-employment and be a part of the Atmanirbhar Swavalambi Bharat actually. And another program is with respect to the Tech Bharat. Actually, Tech Bharat is a platform of Lagu Udyog Bharati which is working in the space of startups and startup ecosystems. We have many programs tailor-made for the young startups and innovators, and we have been having many exhibitions wherein we bring all the angel investors, the startups, the ideators also under one platform and try to help them in commercializing their inventions and their startup ideas actually. We had two good events in the past, and third one we'll be having shortly. And on the Gram Shilpi, we had a very good program in Hubli, and we are going to have one more Gram Shilpi event which is happening in the city of Belgaum in next week actually, on 14th of November. And we hope to see about 150 artisans in the neighboring districts of Belgaum participating and demonstrating their products. And the most important flagship event of Lagu Udyog Bharati has been the India Manufacturing Show, wherein you saw a short visual of that. India Manufacturing Show is a platform created by Lagu Udyog Bharati which helps the small entrepreneurs and the large industries to come together under one platform and showcase their product. We have had 5 big events. These are all biannual events which are held at the Bangalore International Exhibition Center. The last one, which was held in the month of September, had seen about 1,500 exhibitors coming in, and we had about 15,000 visitors and about 80 to 90 international visitors. Of course, this time the international visitors were less because we have just recovered from COVID. So we have already announced the dates for the next international exhibition, which is going to be held in the month of November 2023, and started our preparations now itself. And this time we would like to have the participation of many of the international community at the India International Exhibition. So now looking at the activities of INBCC and Lagu Udyog Bharati, I see a lot of synergy in the broader perspective, I would say, because INBCC also is promoting trade, business and cultural relations between the two countries, and we are also working in the same areas. So we would definitely like to extend our fullest cooperation and work together with INBCC. And in the coming days, we would be sitting with the team of INBCC and see how we can evolve some common programs. And particularly, we would be interested in technology transfers, in skill development, and in the niche areas of neo-manufacturing and nanotechnology and all, which Japanese are very, very strong on that. So we would like to work together on all these areas, and I would definitely be taking some time of Shri Krishna Gavadevi and Deepak Anand and the entire team. So let's sit together and work, because as he said, this is the age of collaborative effort, and all the organizations should come together in the interest of the two nations. Now, in the current geopolitical situation and the changing scenarios, India has turned out to be the manufacturing hub. So there are a lot of opportunities for investors, for entrepreneurs to take up entrepreneurship in India, and we have a very long-lasting business and trade relations with Japan, and which is prospering and which has seen a big jump in the last 7-8 years also. So we look forward to a lot of cooperation from JETRO, from the Japanese embassies, and from INBCC. So with these words, I would like to conclude, and I would like to congratulate once again the promoters of INBCC for taking this initiative and launching this initiative today. And I look forward to a fruitful association in future. I also thank the team of INBCC for giving me the opportunity to express my views. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Shikanji. It's very encouraging to see, many things are coming together, and LUB, such a large organization, doing and carrying the ages of experience, especially the MSME segment, And now, IT and technology or the MSME is not so different. Everything has to be clubbed. Be it IoT or artificial intelligence, even the automobile. I recently met Stellantis, they manufacture a Jeep Compass, right? The various niche vehicles. So they wanted to open IT center. So it's all, embedded now. So we'll definitely look forward in association. So small announcement, as we are expecting our IT and BT Minister and the Skill Development Portfolio Holding, very well-known personality, Dr. Ashwath Narayanji. So he's stuck, in his own constituency. There was an event planned on November 1st, it got preponed today. Chief Minister is with them. So he's finishing and coming here directly. So definitely he will come. So we will slightly tweak the program here and there, but definitely he will come and address us because he is very excited when we met him and explained the INBCC concept. He will definitely come and join us. So please be patient. And wonderful lunch has been arranged. We'll relish the wonderful food. I believe some of them we enjoyed coffee and breakfast. So with very lot of passion, they're preparing food. So we'll definitely stay back together and we'll have lunch and then we will leave from here. So kindly be patient. Minister will come. Yeah, thank you.
Mega, you'll be surprised to know that if you look at Japan-India relations at the basic data, of course 1952 it all started, but how Japan government has seen the development of relation between both countries. There are three phrases which government of Japan uses often. What it is, in the year 2000, our Honorable Prime Minister then, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, he decided the establishment of global partnership between Japan and India, and also subsequently Prime Minister Junichiro Koizumi's visit to India in April 2005 happened. That time, that was labeled as global partnership between Japan and India. But you know what happened afterwards? When Prime Minister Manmohan Singh visited Japan in 2006, it was elevated. This relationship was called as global and strategic partnership. And all of you know, today what it is. In 2016, our Honorable, the most valiant leader I can call, please give a big round of applause for our leader, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And when he visited Japan, the government of Japan decided to call it as Special Strategic and Global Partnership. You can see this elevation. Now, no doubt that INBCC is going to be a step forward that it will bring all these things together. Over to me.
I now request Mr. Ajay Chadda, the Director and Board Member of DTS Corporation, to come on the dais and speak a few words. Round of applause for me.
Namaskar. Good morning and konnichiwa to Japanese. My heartiest greetings to all the distinguished guests and all the friends. I feel really honored and privileged to be part of this occasion. Let me also make one correction that I was just introduced as board member of DTS. I'll recorrect it and I'll speak about myself or introduce myself as well. But let me also, advocate or rather validate what INBCC members have just spoken about. I'm pretty sure that they can very well facilitate this Indo-Japan business community. Not only from the business perspective, as well as the academia world as well, that area as well, because I know that through collaboration among various academic institutions, this can really happen. They can really play a very significant role. And in fact, this will be a doorway to promote the cultural exchange and the understanding between the two very important nations, India and Japan, what is today termed as Indo-Pacific, rather than Asia-Pacific. So, as regard to the investment, they all spoke about that for the SMEC also. I very well understand that, and I'm also pretty sure that they can very well help SMEC, all the small mid-sized enterprises here, to locate appropriate investors from Japan. So I'm actually one of the example. Now let me just introduce myself. My name is Ajay Chadha. I'm an executive director of Nelito System. There's an IT company based out from Mumbai, which was recently acquired by a Japanese company. The Japanese company name is the TTS Corporation Tokyo. So I'm on the board, I'm serving on the board of Nelito since 2017. So I also have, initially when I was introduced that I spent 40 years, no, I only spent 30 years. And I mentioned that I'm not that old, but actually sitting under the AC, I realized that I'm really too old. So we always, we have been talking about, Mr. Sirikant has also spoken about, even INBC members have also spoken about Indo, Japan. These two countries, I can very well understand, and I can surely tell that there are not many things to be still done. The ground reality is little different. The at government level, state level, things are happening, but ground reality is little different. That we still need to put in a lot more efforts to make this happen. And the platform like NBCC, INBCC, they can really play a very, very important role here. So let me just share a brief introduction about. I'm not here to for any business deal to crack any deals. I'm not going to speak about my company. But I'll just give you a brief introduction about myself and how I'm actually associated with the Japanese. So I've been working with Japanese from last 30 years or so. So I brought up in Delhi and then did my graduation from Delhi University as well as the Japanese language. So I was, I worked for NEC for almost 10 years. I was in Japan. So there I was contacted by the company called DTS. It's a small company. It's not a very big company. It's a mid-sized IT company, 50-year-old company, having a turnover of close to $1 billion. So they wanted to set up their footprint in India. So they initially had gone to the big players, like most of the companies go. They approach EY, Deloitte, and the other PwC, etc. So, but things didn't go well. So the relationship here between India and Japan matters a lot. So I knew this DTS company, and they approached me and they said that we want to set up, or we want to buy some company, or we want to set up a footprint in India. So can you help us? So I left the job of NEC and started a consultancy firm. And then I looked for various Indian companies. I approached more than 350 IT companies. And wherever I went as a representative of DTS, I was always looked at that some suspicious guy. How a Japanese person can send someone to go and acquire a company? So normally they go approach with the big companies. So that's something which unique thing happened, which is why I've been advocating for INBCC also. There's a platform, formed by various experts. I can do, but when I could able to do this, they can always do that. One more important factor, or the point which I really would like to tell here is, in the Japanese terminology, I have no one to comment on the Japanese culture because we all know. There is a terminology called gaman kurabe, which means test of endurance, patience. Normally, what I have seen in my career in the 30 years, I have seen a lot of collaboration between Japan and India. So most of the time, the Indian companies, they lose patience because Japan has a very long process of taking decision. So unless and until they are very satisfied, they go with the proper due diligence, this will take some time and some extra time, to be very honest. So which most of the Indians, they feel that they are taking too much time, so nothing is happening. So they lose interest, and obviously there are unfortunate 2-3 cases happened between Japan and India. One is Tata Docomo, and then one was with the Ranbaxy and all. And another third one, we may not be knowing it, so I won't speak about that. So, but if you look back, the India-Japan, we started, I think, from the Suzuki in 1982 or something. When I passed out from the Delhi University, that was the only Japanese company where I could use my skills because I'm a language professional also. So that was the only company in those days. But having said that, if you look back, and now if you look at this current period, at this point of time, not many collaborations have happened. not only the IT company, in the automobile, even the various areas, the Japan is collaborating with India. And someone has also spoken about the IT engineers. That's the fact that even owing to the recent Japan policy, where they are promoting foreign talent, especially the tech people. So they are looking for more than 5 lakh engineers from India. But unfortunately, maybe we lose interest sometimes because most of the time we have seen that although those days have gone, Rakuten has set a very good example in Japan that they made the English language mandatory. But we are more comfortable when we speak in our own language, whether it is Hindi or here in Kannada. It is very unfortunate that we have to use English, although it is not our language, but that's a lie. But even the Japanese also, they can speak, they may understand English, they may be able to converse in English, but the comfort level which comes in their own language, that is Japanese. So which is why this gap is still there, which I believe INBCC has just talked about. So they can even fill that gap as well. The language is the big barrier. No matter what you tell in your own language, when you speak their language, or maybe you speak in Japanese language, where they have some nuance, which is normally missed out when you speak in any other language. So that is one area where I believe INBCC is working on. And from the DTS perspective as well as from the Narito perspective, one thing which I can say that whatever limited knowledge we have with regard to the Japanese culture, the Japanese business community, or maybe the Japanese area or the IT industry, if we can be of any help, we are there to contribute, we are there to help INBCC, because this is not something which they are doing for their commercial purpose. I think this is one thing which they are contributing to this country as well, for which I think we all need to support and we all need to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you for the talk, Mr. Ajay Chapani. Now, moving on, can we have a video clip of Rakuten Symphony?
Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves the loudest round of applause.
Between July 19th and 21st, 2022, Rakuten Symphony launched a pair of special sync-up events in India to welcome Rakuten Symphony CEO Tarek Amin and other global executives to the region. The internal event was created to better connect Rakuten Symphony India employees to the mission and values of the company and celebrates the company's remarkable successes in India. Attended by more than 1,000 employees in Bengaluru and more than 2,000 in Indore, global leaders shared the strategy of Rakuten Symphony with employees and recognized employee excellence with awards.
In terms of goal settings, I have really big ambitious goals. I could tell you, frankly speaking, that the world is very massive in terms of its potential for what Symphony could be. And together, I think this company has a potential to be much larger. You are the foundation builder, you are the owner representative, you are the people that are going to really help us achieve this. Regardless of what targets and what revenue we want to do, we all need to have a skin in this game. You are not just an employee. You're much more than just an employee. You are the creator, the foundation, the builder, the entrepreneurs that are going to make this happen. I will tell you, this sim world is a game changer. The sim world is a category of its own that doesn't exist in our industry. It's this telecom app store that we could onboard complex telco application. Sim world started with just a thought, an idea I had, and the vision started with UX. I thought of an idea of this app store. Why don't we create this app store? We created the UX. In 6 months, SimWorld became live. In 6 months, this is just unbelievable to see the agility that a group like you could deliver. And I think the more that we understand this vision, the more that we unite behind this vision, I think all of us will see maybe what I already see. I already have clearly see the potential for all of us and where this company could go in the next few years.
You are in Rakuten Symphony, a platform of opportunities.
I now request Mr. Sandeep Karla, the Vice President of Rakuten Symphony, to come on the dais and speak a few words. A round of applause.
Namaste and konnichiwa to the dignitaries on the stage and Mizutani-san. I think Ajay Chadda, Mr. Ajay Chadda, Shrikant Akka, Deepak Anand, and also to Dr. Tejaswi Ashwin. She's not here, but I really appreciate her contribution to our environment and society, and maybe get on to her and happy to be special that. And chief guests and members of audience, namaste and konnichiwa. Also to the founders and members of INBC's Foundation, congratulations on this event, and thank you for having Rakuten as part of this event. I mean, if you can go back to the previous slide. Before I start with the slides, I've spent my formative years of my career in Japan, working and studying, and whole 6 years of it. In fact, I was in Japan. I actually welcomed the 21st century with my Japanese colleagues and friends, it's been many years. I did recognize and respect the similarity and synergy in culture and people, right? And the two nations and people have been engaging and collaborating for many, many years, in fact more than a century, and recently in commerce and trade as well. And in my personal opinion, I truly believe that this relationship will get deeper and will grow exponentially in the coming years. So Rakuten Symphony does business differently, right? It has a very inclusive business model. The way it builds business, runs business, and develops technology is more inclusive and open. And in a way, it really breaks the traditional closed and non-inclusive models that are followed in terms of building business, running business, and also developing technology. And that is the disruption in progress. And it is profound, and we'll go through some of the slides that will talk about both the business and technology aspects of Rakuten. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So Rakuten was founded by Miki Mikitani-san, along with his dear friend Kobayashi-san, back in 1996, 97, 25 years ago. They conceptualized and started, built a e-commerce platform. And it was not like any other e-commerce platform at the time. It was much ahead of time. And then the core principle was for that platform to be more inclusive. It's not a product, it's a platform where merchants can set up shops on a digital platform and connect with consumers directly, right? And that core value and principle reflects in everything that Rakuten does, and that's the reason it's an ecosystem for the society. And since the 25 years, cater to different aspects of our daily lives and the society. Right? Next slide, please. Yeah, and about 4 years ago, I think our chairman and group chairman and CEO Mikitani-san recognized connectivity is the missing piece in the Rakuten ecosystem, and something that is essential for taking Rakuten business to the future. And it's at that time, the Rakuten Mobile division that provides communication services in Japan was started. And Mikitani-san hired our Rakuten Mobile current CEO of Rakuten Mobile and Symphony, Tariq Amin, who at the time was driving Reliance Jio network deployment and transformation. Right? It's been 4 years, and like any other Rakuten business, Mikitani-san wanted to build this business differently, right? With 3 core strategies and values in place to democratize the wireless connectivity. And it is essential, those of you who understand how telecom operates today, telecom space, would appreciate this initiative. There are many initiatives that are in place to democratize the wireless connectivity. It's been challenging, but you will see how Rakuten took up this mission and achieved it in a record time. And also to supercharge the ecosystem, Rakuten ecosystem, like any other business initiative, wanted this initiative to also kind of enhance and add value to rest of the Rakuten businesses. And also to build a digital platform which will help not only Rakuten but also its consumers to innovate and benefit from the ecosystem. So with this vision, there were 3 core pillars on which this business was built. Open RAN, this is about how we democratize telecom and wireless connectivity. It's an open standard which encourages different vendors to come together with open interfaces and systems to build an end-to-end connectivity. And traditionally, telecom network is built with proprietary software, hardware, and heavily monopolized. It becomes very difficult for people to really innovate, right? And more people to participate with the digital era. However, automation doesn't mean that you need less people. People will lose their jobs. It's more about there are more parts in the overall network and connectivity. So you need automation to manage those many parts in the network and then the software that we build. And of course, with communication networks, what's important is, as you might have seen, with especially the mobile network, there are more and more services that are being developed on the edge. So there is need for high speed, and with that comes low latency. There are many services and mission life-critical services that get developed. So there is more need to move the intelligence towards the edge. And to move the intelligence towards the edge, there are certain technologies that need to be developed. And that's what edge cloud is about. Cloud comes from the fact that recently, as you heard, most of the technology is virtualized and deployed on cloud. The software is virtualized, it's disaggregated from the hardware compared to traditional methods. So that's the edge cloud part of it. It's not easy to do, but this is what Rakuten wanted to achieve. Right? This is the core pillars to ensure that Rakuten Mobile kind of brings in the revolution in the industry, telecom industry. Next slide. So, Rakuten did achieve this in a record time. They virtualized Mikitani-san and Tariq-san. They kind of took up this challenge and built and deployed a fully virtualized telecom network in a record time of 18 months. In comparison, in telecom, even a simple regular software updates takes 12 to 16 months. So it's very commendable, and they've achieved this, right? The kind of things, the hardware that is necessary to run, the large antennas that you see, the devices that basically sit at the bottom of this and also in the data centers, they take days to installation. It takes 4 minutes in Rakuten Mobile network. Service activation for any subscriber, it takes hours. Generally, at Rakuten Mobile, it takes minutes to set it up, right? And there are fewer people operating large number of devices, and human to software and managed element ratio is significantly higher. And also, it's network built for the future deployments. Next slide. Yeah, I mean, all these achievements are also measurable. There is proof of what has been achieved. With virtualization, with all these initiatives that Rakuten undertook, Rakuten Mobile operates at 40% of the capex, right, in the industry, and these are verifiable and validated numbers, and 30% lower on the OpEx. It's unheard of in the telecom industry, right? And Rakuten Mobile has 96% coverage. This happened in again a record time of 2 years. 97% of population is covered by Rakuten Mobile, and in 5G uplink downlink throughput is one of the top rated. Compare that with NTT Docomo and other established service providers in Japan. And also, it's an ecosystem, that's built for contribution and collaboration among the partners as well. So that was Rakuten Mobile, and then that's from all this technology and innovation that Rakuten Mobile did, and to enable this, these benefits to Rakuten Mobile, we want to kind of take that to the world and other operators in the industry. That's where that seeded the formation of Rakuten Symphony. All the engineering, the software technology that was developed as part of Rakuten Mobile, that was kind of branched off into Rakuten Symphony. And I am part of Rakuten Symphony. I'm very new, but I've been associated with Rakuten Symphony for a long time as a vendor, as a partner, and now as an employee as of today. And this is the journey of Rakuten Symphony, and true to its principles and values of working closely with the partners and community. Even in terms of business, Rakuten have been working with these companies, Altistar, Akdas, Small, Robin. These are very small companies. They are not big companies. These are companies with very talented people doing disruptive things, that align with Rakuten's core values and principles, and that is the reason they're here. And all of them have come together. These are smaller companies that were working hard, they were trying to disrupt the industry. They will come together. It's a combination of like-minded people doing like-minded things, and that's what Rakuten Symphony is. As we've heard in the video earlier, our CEO tried to come in and talk about Symbol. It's unheard of the way Rakuten Symphony builds the software and technology for telecom. Right? It is truly open. It is truly a collaborative platform, and it's groundbreaking. It is quite challenging, how difficult it is to kind of bring these changes into an industry which has been, dealing with businesses and processes that are very closed and proprietary, right? To bring this kind of a transformation. But as you can see, it's everything, all these things that are built in the last 3 to 4 years. At a record speed, and they deliver a lot of value. And again, this is about Rakuten business and technology. And now I'd like to invite my dear colleague and head of for Rakuten Symphony India HR, Divya, to come and talk about Rakuten culture and people. Divya.
Thank you, Sandeep. Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations, INBCC team, for a wonderful inauguration. One of the best inventions of modern history is organizations and communities. Communities such as ourselves that come together for something that we believe very strongly in. I'm responsible for people and culture at Rakuten Symphony India, and my day-to-day job is to bring people together and create high-performance teams. With that, can we go to the next slide, please? So shugi is basically, a Japanese concept that talks about a doctrine, right? These are principles. And shugi is very integral to how we do day-to-day business in Rakuten Symphony and Rakuten Group overall. If you put all of us together, what will you find? You find some very common principles or very common value systems, as we call it, right? Everyone's passionately professional. There is a desire to always improve and always advance. There is a desire to look at speed as a very integral part of what we do, and Sandeep alluded to that as well. So shugi is an integral part of our lives, and as we've been talking today, it brings together Japanese culture into a very strong Indian company as well. Next slide. Now, as we all know, while we have shugi on one end, we also have our Rakuten Symphony's guiding principles. Right? Some of these are overlaps with what shugi already says, but being agile, growing together as a team, we are a very team-focused organization. While there are people who contribute individually as well, we believe very strongly that we sink or swim as a team, and that's integral to our culture. We also have other guiding principles, such as enabling for results. That's what Tari spoke about. That's what Sandeep spoke about as well. So these are some of our guiding principles at Rakuten Symphony India. So this is who we are. 4 offices, 3,300 team members. We have a global innovation lab. We have 6, major business units, over 50 products, 4 acquisitions, and counting. That's a synopsis of what Rakuten Symphony India is. Moving on. What's next? We've done a lot, but there's a little bit more to do. So building innovation campus, best-in-class talent, and customer experience hubs through our labs, that's something that we're focusing on. Moving on to next slide. Corporate social responsibility, listening to Tejaswini ma'am was wonderful. Sustainability is at the core of our agenda, and Symphony focuses on those as well. This is our campus in Bangalore. We have 2 campuses, one Rakuten India and one Rakuten Symphony India, where we host the world's best talent. You're invited anytime you want to come visit us. So that's what we do, and thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. It was very nice to see how a company from Japan brings its work culture and also gives a lot of enthusiastic thoughts to the young minds of Indian, those who are going to be your future partners also. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful words. Our Honorable Higher Education Minister as well as ITBT Minister is going to join very soon. Meanwhile, we will proceed with our program.
I now request our guest of honor, Mr. Toshihiro Mitsutani, Director General of JETRO, to come on the dais and speak a few words. Toshihiro-san, yoroshiku onegai shimasu.
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste, konnichiwa. My name is Mitsutani from JETRO. I'm very happy to be present here today, and I would like to express my heartfelt congratulations to the opening of INBCC. JETRO is a government organization that works to promote mutual trade and investment between Japan and the rest of the world, of course, including India. We also have an office in Bengaluru, and actually 5 offices in India. Bengaluru is one of the cities, and other 4 cities is New Delhi and Mumbai, Ahmedabad, and Chennai. And our office has been collaborating with many organizations, including public and private sector, as well as NPO. Actually, the founder of
director of INBCC, Mr. Deepak-san. He had been working in JETRO for many years. And I believe INBCC and JETRO will collaborate in many fields in future. Several years ago, the government of India and Japan signed a digital platforms partnership agreement. Backed by this, various types of collaboration in the digital field between India and Japanese companies have happened. Especially in recent years, Japanese companies have been shifting forward open innovation with Indian startups. Of course, as you might know, Bengaluru is a very hub of a center of IT industry in India. There must be some rational reason for this. First, most Japanese companies seek a strategic market in the world and require abundant tech talent for developing the market. Second, they attach great importance to sharing the basic values and building a mutually trusting relationship with their business partners. As you understand, the nation which meets all these criteria is only India, and the most capable city is, of course, Bengaluru. To accelerate this open innovation of Japanese companies, we at JETRO launched a new project, J-Bridge. And J-Bridge is a project name, is a business platform to facilitate collaboration between Japanese corporation and overseas startups. At this moment, currently, over around 1,000 Japanese corporations have already joined J-Bridge, and the market which they regard as the most promising is India. So I am sure INBCC is eager to collaborate with us in this project as well. INBCC has just been established, and I strongly believe INBCC will broaden its network of people and companies in Bengaluru from now. I once again offer my congratulations on INBCC's founding and look forward to stronger business ties between our two countries. Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。
I think for Bangaloreans and all of us who are assembled over here, the entire gist of INBCC was solidified. It was how it is going to be crystallized. That was aptly explained by our chief guest of the day. You know that if you look at the trade in terms of yen, it says that 2008, the trade from Japan to India was about 819 billion yen. But today, if you look at 2021, of course, 1 year earlier data, it says that the trade from Japan to India, it is 1,423 billion yen. Now you can see that this quantum jump that has occurred. And also what is very relevant is that historically 1870, the first time Indian settlement happened in Japan. But today, the Japan government itself says that it has around 37,000 Indian people are settled in Japan and 10,000 Japanese are in India. Please give a big round of applause for this big global family that who are making lot of things. That dream is coming true.
May I now request our technical team to present the video of the sponsors and partners?
introduction, we are very neutral, research-driven, risk-advisory firm. We wish to help partners who have put a great vision, a long-term vision, and we can help you on the road to the risk, basically ability to predict the risk in your business models. The only reason is we want you to be sustainable in your business or venture. Two use cases come up here. The first one being, if you're making investments in the emerging market, yes, we can be neutral risk advisors. Some of the risk base we can transfer through an effective insurance program, a global insurance program. Second use case being, you're trying to source something from the Indian market, Indian OEMs, we have that for you. I'll help you provide a neutral advisory and a neutral review of the risk that you carry with partnering with these Indian entities. That's about it. Thanks again. Finally, I wish to say that we look forward to the Japanese consultants to join us on board into the team of Inauguration, activated through the multicultural, multinational team, to give a lot to learn from the country called Japan, where we focus on design concepts to a great extent, and the focus on very long-term sustainable ventures. In this.
The future is here. Introducing AppSteer. You and your software development teams no longer need to code round the clock to create amazing web or mobile applications. AppSteer combines a range of no-code features with business workflows implemented on a single intelligent platform. With this, you are in a brave new world where you can drag and drop your way to building awesome apps. AppSteer empowers everyone, even the business teams, with an ability to turn their ideas into real working software. In this case, we will show you how to build a business app and accelerate your digital transformation. You can create a new business app from a blank slate or by using a template from various categories in the marketplace. Here you drag and drop a text field or a drop-down list field. Couple it with components such as barcode scanner, geolocation, feedback, and signature. You can configure these fields for specific properties depending on the user persona and the use case. While you drag and drop these fields, you can also quickly preview the look and feel of the application on the mobile screen. Next, you can design the workflow for this delivery management of an e-commerce order. This workflow augments your custom business logic coupled with decision capabilities to trigger relevant actions and push notifications. No matter what your processes are, you can translate it into a logic-driven user experience for everyone. But it doesn't stop here. You can integrate pre-built application connectors from a plethora of ready-to-use connectors in the AppSteer integration marketplace. These API integrations can also unleash the power of artificial intelligence through connectors which will help you bring to life new AI-assisted customer experiences which are richer, more personalized and yield supreme user experiences. If pre-built connectors do not suffice, you can set up your custom integrations with any third-party, internal or external APIs. With these, you have come one full circle of app design to workflow creations to integrations. And the result? Voila! Your enterprise-grade application is ready. And wait, here is the best part. You do not have to recreate the same application on different platforms. Your business app is readily available on every platform from the smartphone to laptops and the tablets. When your business solution is ready, it's time to implement it in the day-to-day operations of your business. Map the look and feel of the product by changing logo and colors to align with the brand image of your company. The platform can be rendered in different languages and customized business terminologies. Furthermore, one can structure users' privileges and roles in your company to set up role-based access and permissions for different offices and groups. When you are happy with all the setup, it's time to build the dashboards. You don't need in-depth technical expertise to set up a one-stop, show me the data dashboard in Obsteer. Instead, you can create widgets to map the important business metrics with relevant charts. And the best part is, you can configure different dashboards for different roles in the company, thereby ensuring the user experiences and user privileges are seamlessly managed. Therefore, no matter what your processes are, what type of industry in the society your business caters to, creating a business app is easy and transformational. We help you steer clear the right way, the app steer way. Still sitting on the fence? Visit us at www.upsteer.io. Start app steering today.
Thanks to all our sponsors and partners.
Here's a small important announcement to all the enthusiasts who want to connect with IMBCC. In November, we are going to conduct 2 workshops. The first one is Innovation and Startups in the month of November. That means hardly a few weeks are left. Now the second one is going to be ESG model, Environmental Social Governance Models for Business. These 2 workshops will be conducted by IMBCC. Over to Nippon.
I now request our guest, Mr. Jun Ito, a Japanese social entrepreneur and a startup founder, to please come on the dais and speak a few words. Mr. Jun Ito-san.
Sorry for you. My name is Jun Ito. I'm Japanese originally. My background, I worked at some Japanese company. After that, I launched a business in Africa around 10 years. Then I exited my business, 2 years ago to some Japanese company called Yamaha. Then now, I just came to Bangalore last month. I'm now starting kind of the social business, or more like a social, changing project to tackle the issue of the waste management, especially organic waste, community compost, using IoT sensors, some gamification technologies, and Web3 NFTs. So I think I have some presentations this afternoon. If you are remaining here the afternoon, please just see my presentation. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jun-san. Arigatou gozaimasu. Now I request our guest, Mr. Kataro Fukuoka, the Managing Director of Amekuni India Private Limited, to come on the dais and speak a few words. Fukuoka-san. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu.
Namaste. My name is Kotaro Fukuoka, and I live here in India now, actually 5th year in India. So like a baby steps, just 5 years old. And basically I'm conducting two things. First is company, like as she introduced, Amegumi India Private Limited. And under this company I'm doing some like business style course for Indian people as well as Japanese people at the point of business to fill the cultural gap by understanding how to behave in each specific situation as well as why we have to do that. But of course, I'm not saying like this is good, like this is a good part of India, this is a good part of Japan. I feel that that is just a fact we are doing, and the important thing is to mutually understand by accepting the difference. So this is what I'm doing. And the second thing is social work. What I'm doing is, currently what I'm doing is to give the opportunity at the point of education, basic education. I do believe that every single child must have at least basic education. Of course, regardless of the place, India or wherever the world. So I'm conducting some educational project in Bihar, rural area, Rajasthan, slum areas, Gurgaon, Karnataka, and other areas as well, with the support and collaboration of Japanese supporters as well as, of course, there are plenty of amazing NGOs in India, and actually this week, yeah, I think this week, Diwali season I stayed with my best friend. He is running an NGO in Tamil Nadu, close to Indo. So actually, unfortunately, one of his staff committed suicide. And he was social worker, social activist. So I do feel, still I'm feeling disappear, hopeless, because we are working together to make the world where everyone can get the opportunity at least make their own efforts. But he's no more in this world. So I do, currently I'm still feeling hopeless. But at least I'm here in the world. I do believe that I have to do something for the society. So that is the reason why I'm here. I'm in India. There are many cases that people don't have an opportunity, even minimum opportunity we can say, to make their own efforts. So I don't want to live this such situation with them. I feel that like they are just a friend. So if my friend is under such situation, of course I don't want to accept that. So that is the reason why I'm doing. So here, like Japan-India thing is there. I do believe that I saw many Japanese companies like establishing a factory here in India, and they're like creating great employability. So many of the slum people also, like Bihari people as well, come to like factory area, industrial area, and they are able to get job. So that can be the hope for them. So I do believe that Japan-India relationship must be stronger than now. So I feel that I'd like to do whatever I can do, and at the same time I will do increase whatever I can do. Thank you so much.
As our young startup entrepreneur was just speaking, I thought of sharing this secret. The third biggest investor in India today is Japan. So that exactly shows that how Japan wants to go ahead with India. Now we need to wonder that what exactly may be the theme of this, why Japan likes us, or why India need to have a bigger, a long-term, lifelong relationship with Japan. What matters is the gray matter. On one side we have got innovation, and on the other side we have got the young future Indian generation. At around we are nearly 30 to 40 crore people are available, the biggest human resource anywhere available in the earth planet. So the ideas from Japan and working culture from the India, that will definitely make both countries prosperous. Now what exactly is the most populous state and the rich country? When this combination is going to happen, definitely the earth is going to have the wonderful days in the future.
Thank you, Shamli. Okay. Let us now hear from some of our guests in Japan who couldn't make it here today but still want to be a part of INBCC event, inauguration event. Technical team, can we please play the video of Mr. Hari Krishna Bhatt, Dr. Harish and Mr. Tanji Daisuke? Thank you.
Hello everyone, Namaskar. My name is Tanji. Currently I live in Nagoya, central of Japan. I've been working in India for 5 years from 2013 to 2018 as an expert of Japanese trading company. At that time, my station was 2 years in Delhi, 3 years in Mumbai, but I have traveled a lot, more than 120 times a year, taking flight all over the India, Bangalore, Pune, Chennai, even the north part of India. Even after my returning back to Japan, I have arranged lots of Indian business seminar and matching events frequently in order to spread out how Indian market is attractive. Right now, I have just started my own business from July this year onward. It's kind of a startup which is closely related to India. My mission is to become bridging between India and Japan. I'm accelerating Japanese company entering an investment for Indian market, not only for large company but also SME. Also, I recently assisting startup collaboration between India and Japan. As Japanese government also officially announced to invest India around $5 million within 5 years, which is quite positive sign for Japanese company. I strongly believe that India and Japan is the best partner in the world. About INBCC activity, thank you for my opportunity to assignment of advisor. I will more focus on India-Japan collaboration in terms of cultural exchange, technical alliance, and startup collaboration. I have a plan to visit India for 3 weeks from end of next month up to mid of December to develop the new business and the research activity.
That's our young partner across the globe from Japan who could not make it to INBCC summit today. ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಚಿವರು ಹಾಗೂ ಐಟಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬಿಟಿ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಫೋಲಿಯೋವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುವಂತಹ ಸಚಿವರಾದ ಮತ್ತು ಅರಿಯರ್ ಡೆಪ್ಯೂಟಿ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿದ್ದಂಥ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಅಚ್ಚುಮೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ಅಶ್ವಥ್ ನಾರಾಯಣ್ ಜಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಫೌಂಡರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆದಂಥ ಕೃಷ್ಣಗೌಡ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಹೂಗುಚ್ಛವನ್ನು ನೀಡಿ ಬರಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಗಿವ್ ಎ ಬಿಗ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಪ್ಲಾಸ್.
ನಾವೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕಾತರದಿಂದ ಕಾದಂತ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಒತ್ತಡ ಸ್ಕೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ವತಃ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿಂದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅವರೀಗ. ಅದೆಷ್ಟು ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ವೇದಿಕೆ ಏನಿದೆ INBCC ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ವಂಡರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅನ್ನೋಂತ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. and he's anticipating more employment generation and more opportunities for Karnataka and Bangalore. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ IT, BT ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ MSME ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಬಂಡವಾಳ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ ಇದೆ. And at the same time, we need strong support from government of Karnataka. So now I would request Dr. Ashwathananji, without waiting any minute, to guide us and talk to us. Thank you, sir. Please come.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳೇ, ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತರೇ, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Today's program, as it has been organized by INBCC, India Nippon Business Council and Academic Collaboration, to inspire the future with the tagline "Inspire the Future," and to mark the 70th year of anniversary of the diplomatic relationship between India and Japan. I think it can be no better way of celebrating the relationship between India and Japan. So I congratulate all the organizers who are responsible for this organizing. Wholeheartedly I thank the organizers and as well as the participants who are the reason for the successful conduction of this event. Dear friends, as all of you know, pre-COVID and post-COVID, completely the way we do business or we conduct business or the way we do things has completely changed. As the time is passing, we are going forward, will not have any boundaries. Probably physically boundaries we keep marking, but virtual boundary is going to conquer everything. Most of the services, it will be taken over by virtually. So as a world, we will be living together, respecting each other culture, personalities, and the trust, and the culture of commitment as a society is very important. We should be known for what we are. Our attitude, our behavior, our commitment, how we do things is very important. Probably in this direction, the pursuit of excellence or the better way of doing things is very important. So each person will be recognized by his work. Rest comes later. Who are you, what are you, comes later. So first and foremost, for what service you have been hired, have been collaborated, whatever you are doing, you should be known for that work. First you should be known for your work and your quality and your product. So that will reflect who you are. In that direction, each one of us need to understand this culture. So that will reflect the strength of the people of that region or a country will be reflected only through our commitment to the work. Probably in this direction, this kind of collaboration is a very good indicator, a roadmap or a road path which we are looking for, and we have been evolving and we have already done many good things in our state. As our state has become the very futuristic state, progressive state and land of opportunity. Within no time, probably the kind of transformation what is happening in our state has become really remarkable and very futuristic and very promising that will evolve and emerge, and any country can look up to the state of Karnataka and particularly city of Bangalore. So with all this confidence, once again we need to not only making statements, along with making statement, we need to reiterate and commit ourselves probably to ensure that we sustain all the kind of changes or the progression, whatever has been happening, we need to sustain and we need to take it forward. Probably in this direction, the national education policy has come as a real transformation of the reform what has been brought can definitely ensure the way we can do things or the supply of the talent. Generation of talent or the supply chain of the talent can be maintained and sustained by doing the right way of providing the quality education, not just education, the quality education. Because any institution, any state, any society, anything good has to happen, it can happen through the good institution, doing the right things. The right way, how we train and skill our people is very important. And the personality with ethics and morals and commitment. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. So we might gain sometimes at the cost of the trust. We can't keep deceiving anybody all the time. So it is not good for anybody or for the society or for himself. So ultimately when we lead a life, it should be a meaningful life, worthwhile life. So in keeping all this in mind, we need to help ourselves and prove ourselves to the entire world. We are the best place to do business. We are the best partners, natural partners for all of them. So Japan has, in this way, proved a trusted ally and a friend. Always we have been looking forward to culturally, spiritually. We share a lot of common things. So that is the beauty of our relationship between India and Japan. We share a lot of culturally common things. In the religion, in the terms of religion, in the terms of culture, in the way we lead our society and life. We have a lot of common factors which can bring us more closer and which has been happening for many centuries, and this relationship has been further strengthened in the past 70 years. Let us continue this relationship, and more so, state of Karnataka has got a very special relationship with Japan. For many of the good infrastructure to happen in the state of Karnataka, the JETRO and JICA have funded many of our projects. Many of our projects have been funded by them. Even in the terms of economic participation, the good number of investment has happened in the state of Karnataka, and we have collaborated. Further collaboration should happen. Now this is a time to open up. They need more and more skilled manpower to further strengthen their economy. They need more and more skilled manpower to look up to even Japan, migrate, work there, and as well as the investment in the small scale, medium scale, large scale, in all possible sectors they can look up, and good things are happening, and this is a very both the way very beneficial relationship, and we can help each other to sustain and overcome the challenges as a society, as an economy, as a country. Each one of us have been facing to address each other's concern. What you have, we are short of few things. What you don't have, we are in surplus. So we can complement each other.
Yeah, no. First come for a minute.
Please, round of applause to them.
In fact, post-COVID, this is the first time that they are already performing live, so it's a great honor for us to host them today. After the vote of thanks, they are going to perform for us some very beautiful numbers, which they have specifically picked up for today's event. Please.
Yeah, big round of applause.
Thank you.
So now we would like to give a vote of thanks for felicitation for our guest on dais. So we'll start with Mr. Shrikant Dattaji. Shridarji. Okay. So Mr. Mizutani would. Yeah, sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ram, and I'm at the invitation of Sandeep, who was kind enough to invite me to this event, wonderful event. As much as his team is felicitating all the guests and the sponsors, I thought I'd take a moment to felicitate them for this event and also starting this INBCC. I don't know how many of you have worked with the Japanese corporations or talked to them, but I'd like to start this small felicitation in a lighter vein. I was in Japan a few years ago, close to almost like 15 years ago, negotiating a document with a Japanese corporation. One of the things that all of us would believe and probably appreciate and also see when you start engaging with Japanese corporation, the amount of patience that one needs when engaging with a Japanese company. A 4-page document which I went to negotiate took me 3.5 days. But the lighter way that happened was, since then, that company on which I negotiated the document has done business in excess of $150 million with the Japanese company. That is the power of cooperating with our Japanese company. Recently, I met the people from the Doha group of companies from Japan. The engagement the company that has in India, in Bangalore itself, and they are the largest company as Doha is engaged in terms of manufacturing automotive components. That company has got the collaboration with a Japanese parent for the last 35 years. So Japanese don't think short term. So if anyone wants to engage with a Japanese corporation, think long term, think big, think scale. And I can positively and probably confirm and assure everyone, and they're here for the long term. It will be a wonderful engagement. And on behalf of myself, my name is Ram. I'm an entrepreneur from Bangalore, basically a chartered accountant too, but I do something in waste management. I'd like to congratulate and compliment Mr. Krishna Gowda and the entire team of INBCC who have put this Section 8 company together with an idea of bringing in Indian startups and the MSMEs and collaborate with Japanese corporations. I wish them all the very best and great times ahead. Thank you so much.
Now we will felicitate the chief guest on the stage. May I call upon Bangalore Sridhar, an inspiring personality, and somewhere the central government also has placed a heap of praise on this particular achievement of sending 576 children from India freely to Japan. And that is one of the achievement even Government of India has heaped a prize on. Please give a big round of applause to Bangalore Sridhar. Now I request Bangalore Sridhar to felicitate Shrikant Dattaji, Vice President of Lagu Udyoga Bharati. Please give a big round of applause. I call upon Sridhar Rajgopal, Founder Director, INBCC, to felicitate Shri Ajay Chadda, Director and Board Member of DTS Corporation. I call upon Nisha San to felicitate Sandipji from Rocket & Company. Yes, audience, please. I call upon Krishna San to felicitate Mr. Mitsutani, Director General of Jetro Company, for having elaborated on the relation between India and Japan in terms of what's the value and how the impact is going to be in the coming century. Thank you. Yes, I call upon Sridhar Rajgopal for a formal vote of thanks.
As they say, thank you is a prayer. It's not just two words, but it's a big prayer. And we would, the founders of INBCC and the advisors and the entire team of INBCC is very thankful and grateful to all of you for being here with us this morning. Incidentally, even though the inauguration, the official inauguration is taking place today, but we have been working on this for the past few months, and there have been some phenomenal developments, I would say, in terms of collaborations, in terms of discussions, and so on. And we are very, very excited, as equally as many of you are here in this room. And I would very, very confidently say that the journey has just begun. We have just started this process, and it's going to be very, very interesting, fundamentally because there is so much of opportunity for all of us to work together, both organizations in India as well as in Japan. And with an organization like INBCC facilitating this whole process, it's going to be even more interesting. And formally, I would, on behalf of all the founder directors, the advisors, and the core team of INBCC, I would like to very specifically thank Honorable Minister Dr. Ashwath Narayana, who made it to the event, and his speech was obviously very encouraging to us. We have had 3 meetings with him before this, and incidentally he came out with many suggestions on how INBCC could work with some of the government schemes, and we're going to take it forward. And I would also like to thank Mizutani-san for his time with us this morning. And as he also mentioned, there's going to be a lot of opportunity and a lot of synergy between JITRO and INBCC as well. And Mr. Sandeep ji, thank you so much for being with us, not just for your presence, Divya ji, but also supporting us with this event as being one of the, I would say, the platinum sponsor. And Ms. Kane Matsuda, we couldn't spend much time talking to you, but we are very confident of working with you going forward. Ajayji, thank you so much for flying in just for this event, and we look forward to a lot of advice and his guidance on how we can make INBCC very, very successful, if I may say so. And Madam Tejaswini ji, as always, a busy person, and so much to learn from her. And she's also very excited to work with INBCC, and we are looking at how we could synergize in the area of waste management, especially with respect to food. And of course, the list is long. Srikant Dattaji for all the wonderful insight that he gave into us. In fact, that's another organization where we are going to seek out a lot of support and guidance, because the last 15 years they have done so much for the country. And what we are going to do is go in there, fast track our learning, and look at how we can synergize with them. At the end of the day, there is no world without Make in India and Atmanirbhar programs, and we are very much committed to that. And of course, today's event has been, there are many more. I mean, we can just go on, the list is endless. But the best part is that today's event, it's been started with some fantastic luminaries, both from the businesses, the academics, and startups, and so on. So it's very encouraging, because the very fact that many of you know that this is just an official inauguration. This is not a business presentation per se, but you still made it because of your, I should say, support to INBCC in how we can all work together to make this happen. Of course, Yuvaka Sangha and all the other partners, we are ever grateful to you for this. And I would also like to very happily say that we all saw the Fujitsu team on the stage here with us. We are very excited, and we are going to have them as the first big project in terms of setting up a center for excellence. And the beauty is that we are starting with Fujitsu, and there are already a couple of other organizations that have expressed wish to work with us on similar grounds, both on the academic as well as the business front. And before I end this, probably the vote of thanks is longer than some of the guest speeches probably. From our side, I really want all of us to give a very big hand to my own colleague and co-founder Krishnaji. He's been the fulcrum for this whole event. In spite of some emergencies at home, he's been at it. I would say he's been working 25 hours a day for the last 15 days. Thank you so much, Krishnaji. And our support team, Ranganathji, Lokeshji, and all of them, they've done a fantastic job of putting everything together. So we are very grateful and thankful to them for all the support. And Aruga-san, of course, she's been helping us with all with the translation. We used to call her at 9 in the night and say, can you please tell us if this Japanese translation is correct or not? So without all that support, we couldn't have done this. Of course, having said that, we are not stopping there. We have a long way to go. Thank you so much, everybody. And before I hand it over to the artists who are going to present some very good piece of art for us, I would, now what's going to happen the next few minutes is that the dignitaries on the dais are going to move to the front row so that the artists can perform. And once the performance is over, I sincerely request you to sit through the performance, because one, art is always beautiful. Second, they've all put in a lot of time and effort in practicing. So let's all sit through the program, watch it. Once the art culture program is over, let's all head to the dining area where some very hot and very, very tasty food is awaiting us. Thank you so much. And of course, the police team, the BBMP team, the stalls, everybody has been of great support to us. Thank you so much, the volunteer team, Mr. Das and his team, and everybody else. Thank you so much. If I have missed somebody's name, it's purely out of ignorance, so pardon me for that. But we're all together in this, and we're going to succeed. Thank you so much, and arigato, gentlemen and ladies.
So for a crisp flash moment of photos, may I call upon all the founder members and concerned people on the stage, just for 30 seconds.
Can we have all the founder members of INBCC on stage?
Please, audience, give a big round of applause for this great moment the team has created for all of us, for the young generation.
Thumbs up, close everyone, please. Appreciate it. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yes, everyone.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅಧಿಕೃತ ಸಭೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕಲಾಪ ಕೊನೆಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕುತೂಹಲ ಏನೆಂದ್ರೆ, ಜಪಾನ್ ದೇಶದ ಕಲಾವಿದರು ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮದೇ ಕರುನಾಡಿನ ಭರತನಾಟ್ಯವಾದ ಸಿರಿಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮೊಡನೆ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿರುವ ವಿದುಷಿಯರು. Over to Meghna.
Cultural program will begin shortly. A Japanese band called Royal Eco is performing, which is followed by a Bharatanatyam dance.
Yes, audience, don't worry. We have some videos about incredible India and famous places of Japan. Over to our technical team. Manoj, standing mic here, mic stand.
Hello. Namaskara. My name is Ramani. I'm a senior advisor at INBCC. My friend, Mr. Krishnamurthy, is the CEO and President of Indian Electronic Semiconductor Association. He has got long years of more than 40 years in the semiconductor, well known in the field. So what you call like a Bhishma Pitamaha of semiconductors. Now, we had some brief discussion with him and Mr. Krishnaji. Some points we would like to have, how INBCC can be associated with IASCA. These are all exploration stage, but in the initial stage, I thought I will request him to talk to you and share his views. Mr. Krishnamurthy, please.
Namaskaram. Thank you very much for inviting me to this event. As I was introduced I am the CEO and President of India Electronics and Semiconductor Association, which is a consortium of about 250 electronics and semiconductor companies in India, all over the country. And we have also associated and interacted with JETRO in the past. But having a platform like INBCC, I think it makes a lot of sense if associations like this can come together and collaborate, because when it comes to high technology, particularly electronics and semiconductors, and in that semiconductor manufacturing equipments, Japan is a world leader. India is trying to embark on a big journey of semiconductor manufacturing. You would have read in many newspapers many times already, a $10 billion fund has been created by Government of India, and we are working very closely with government. Having platforms like this helps us a lot to collaborate, and we have just started exploring some possibilities. I just wanted to share this good news with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಭಿಕರು ತಮ್ಮ ಆಸನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ವಿನಮ್ರವಾಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Dear guests, kindly be seated.
Japanese chorus group Royal Echo is going to perform now. Bangalore Nihongo Kai, no, Japanese Royal Echo Minasan ni utate itadakimasu.
会場の皆さん、こんにちは。本日はお招きいただきありがとうございます。ロイヤルエコー合唱団は1999年に発足し、今年で23年目を迎えました。多彩なメンバーに恵まれ、歌うことはもちろん、コーラスを縁とした人のつながりが魅力のメンバーです。毎週日曜日に和気あいあいと活動していますので、ご興味がある方はご気軽にお出かけください。
Namaskara. Thank you for inviting Royal Echo Choir Group to perform today. The Royal Echo was established in 1999 and is now in its 23rd year. Blessed with diverse range of members, the charm of this group is not only singing, but we are able to connect to different people through this. Every Sunday, we sing harmoniously together. Please feel free to contact if you are interested.
本日は日本の曲を3曲、カナダの曲を1曲披露いたします。最初にお届けする曲、夢の世界を、2曲目、ふるさとを歌います。皆さん、ふるさとを思い浮かべながらこの歌をお聴きください。
Today we are going to sing 3 Japanese songs and 1 Kannada song. The first song is Yume no Sekai o, which means the world full of dreams. The second song will be Furusato. This means my hometown. So this song is like reminds all Japanese people of their hometown. It describes the feeling of people who live far away from their hometown. Please enjoy.
川の流れのように歌います。人生は川の流れのように細く なんとデコボコ人生でもいつか晴れる日が来る人生の歌です。
Now we are going to sing third song, Kawa no Nagare no Yori, which means life is like a river, thin, long and bumpy, but one day the sun will come. It's a song of life. Please enjoy.
日本の歌を聴いていただきました。次はカンナダソング。私たちは日本に生まれましたが、今ここに来たならカンナダ、仕事をするならカンナダ、フィッティバレカンナダの歌とダンスに挑戦いたします。会場の皆さん、ぜひご参加ください。
Thank you for listening Japanese songs. Now is the time for singing and dancing in Kannada. I believe most of you already know the song Puttidare Kannada. We are born in Japan, but when we are here, Kannada. When we work Kannada, let's dance. Woo!
Please dance together.
ಜಪಾನ್ ಸಹೋದರ ಸಹೋದರಿಯರು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ರಾಯಲ್ ಇಕೋ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಸಿಂಗಿಂಗ್. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಗಿವ್ ಎ ಬಿಗ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಪ್ಲಾಸ್. ನಿನ್ನೆಷ್ಟೇ ಅಮರ್ ಅಪ್ಪು ಅವರ ಚಿರಸ್ಮರಣೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಏನಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ತುಂಬಿಸಿದೆ. ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಒಂದು ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಬರಲಿ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. May I request Sridhi for the Bharatanatyam song. Blue.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Sir, you will come put it. Close up. Ready, sir? Ready.
So this is an Indian pose, no action.
Yeah. Ready, sir?
Let's everyone, please, simple everyone say 1, 2, 3, NBCC, big parade.
Thank you. One more.
Sir, sorry for back. Sir.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, action. Last. One action, please, everyone takes 1, 2, 3.
ಇದೀಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಚೆಲುವ ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾಡಿನ ಭರತನಾಟ್ಯದ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಈ ಮೂವರ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭರತನಾಟ್ಯದ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿಯನ್ನು ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ನೃತ್ಯ ರೂಪಕ ಮಾಡಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರಂ ಭಜಾಮಿ ಸತತಂ ಎನ್ನುವ ಈ ಕೃತಿ ರಾಗ ಚಂದ್ರಕೌನ್ಸ್, ಆದಿತಾಳ, ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಶೇಷಗಿರಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರಿಂದ ರಚಿತವಾಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ಇದರ ನೃತ್ಯ ನಿರ್ದೇಶನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಮೇಧಾವಿ ಕಲಾವಿದೆ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಕಲಾಶ್ರೀ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ.ಕೆ. ವಸಂತಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಗುರುಗಳು. This dance presentation is done in praise of Lord Shiva, the one who has adorned his head with a crescent moon and Ganga flows from that. He is the one who is prayed by all and sought even by the greatest sages. He is the person who distracts all the problems of his devotees. Hey, Lord Shiva, bless us and maintain the sanctity in the world. Now in front of you, the performers Vidushi Disha, Vidushi Tushara and Vidushi Priya. Please give a big round of applause.
Waiting there. Play ಮಾಡಿ.
साधु जन वन्दितं संकष्टहरणम्
That was an amazing performance by Vidushi, Priya and her team. In fact, out of the three, one is a final year law student and the other two are software engineers. So please give a big round of applause. That marks the beautiful end of this wonderful program, INBCC. And I pray to the Almighty that this program begins a wonderful step towards a wonderful future for the wonderful future of India and Japan. Thank you.
May I request Priya, Tushara and Disha to come on the stage. ಕಲಾರಸಿಕ ಬಂಧುಗಳು ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಮೂಲಕ ಈ ಮೂರು ಕಲಾವಿದರಿಗೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋರು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಅನುರಾಧ ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಶ್ರೀಧರ್. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. Meanwhile, it's a time for lunch, and I request all the honorable guests, audience, participants, volunteers, the next room, that is called as Annaya Hall, where a lunch has been arranged. Now may I call upon volunteers for the program INBCC inauguration for a felicitation.
All the volunteers, please. Very good. Sir, I'll work it out with please, start the volunteers. Start the
ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಹಗಲು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಎನ್ನದೆ ಶ್ರಮಿಸಿದ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯುವ ಪ್ರತಿಭಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು ಹಾಗೂ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಸೇವಕರು, the volunteers, who have put really a wonderful effort behind making this program a big success. I request all the volunteers of INBCC to come on the stage to get a token of appreciation from all of us. INBCC expresses its deep love, affection and the sincere dedication of all our team members who have put in a lot of efforts in making this program a big success. Pin to plane was arranged. Pin to plane was planned as well. I mentioned my sincere appreciation towards technical team, which was headed by Sudhirji. Also to my co-anchor, Meghna ma'am.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, everyone, say cheers! Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3, say cheers!
बोलो भारत माता की जय।